Here we come to see the world under attack. Here we go hard and never fail. We don't back down. You can't stop the fire we bring. Defending the world from aliens and things. It's the tubular. 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 It's the tubular to attack. We go hard. 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 Defending the world from aliens and things. Guardians. It's
A gleaming magenta Corvette idles outside of the KTDC news station. Reginald sits behind the wheel, idly tapping his fingers along the leather steering wheel and impatiently looking at an exit door.
Reggie! OMG, they would not let me leave. They actually expected me to sit there when I wasn't even on camera.
No worries, Desi. I just got a 12 CD changer installed. I've got music for days. I can't believe this is it. We're finally seniors, and we're gonna rule the school. I'm gonna win another championship, and you're gonna get your triple crown this year. I guarantee it.
Oh my god, duh! There's no questioning it. You and I are about to be treated like the royalty we were born to be.
You know, I'm gonna miss this. It's really gonna be weird with you gone. New York. And then I have to deal with all these freaks and losers by myself.
Oh, you silly thing. Did you check my MySpace page today? I'm going to be going to DCU. It's the only school my mom would pay for because it's her alma mater.
You're going to Dragon Cove University too? Oh, that is so tubular.
I'm only going there until I become a full-time news anchor.
And do you think we're gonna have to deal with those same 5 freaks next year?
Please, the criminal and secondhand Sally probably won't be able to afford community college. The nerd will be going to some super nerdy school, so they'll be gone. With the 3 of them out of the picture, I'm fairly certain Gwenny and Ha-Nuel will come back to us.
Do we even want to hang out with them? They're gonna have that stink of freak on them.
Friends are allowed to make poor choices. Did we stop being your friends when you tried frosted tips 3 summers ago? This year is going to be amazing. It's the year everything changes.
Benny, still in his Pyre Paladin armor, pounds at the imprisoned Jay, while a recently freed Ha-Nuel, Gwen, and Scarlett have their vitals scanned by the holographic Gaia. The crystalline structure cracks and chips with each blow.
Gaia, I told you. We're fine. The suits completely protected us. It was like being in an air-conditioned full body cast.
As Benny finally cracks through the crystalline structure holding Jay, the duo quickly demorph and join their 3 friends.
That was quite an unusual experience. What exactly were we captured in?
My analysis shows that it is what you would refer to as honey.
Our suits can be stopped by honey?
That seems like a pretty big design flaw.
It's honey infused with ley line energy.
So, when we fought Hivemix...
BeeQuake.
Excuse me? I thought you said it on Hivemix.
I had plenty of time to think when I was stuck in the honey. BeeQuake just rolls off the tongue better.
Fine. BeeQuake is able to shoot ley line energy at us.
I think that it's made of ley line energy.
Hun, you're supposed to be resting.
I've been through worse. Remember the Ibrion incursion?
I don't know. You went down pretty hard out there.
Your blue does seem to be a bit different. You're usually cerulean, but you're looking closer to Carolina blue right now.
I appreciate the concern, but there are more pressing matters than my pigment.
Pan is right. BeeQuake was stronger than any monster we faced before. It mopped the floor with us. This is exactly why I said we shouldn't have cut back our training.
I don't think it was that we weren't prepared. There was something different about the monster. It didn't do anything special or fight extremely well, but I feel exhausted.
Me too. It was like we went 12 rounds with that honey squirting freak.
I'm feeling pretty fatigued too. But I assumed it was due to being entombed in honey. Gaia, how much energy did we expend?
That's odd. On average, 11% of your reserves have been depleted. That can't be right.
What's wrong? 11% doesn't seem that bad.
That's the amount of energy we use when we utilize the world anvil.
Whoa. That's definitely not good.
Ideas?
Time dilation? Maybe the fight felt like it was short, but in reality it lasted a lot longer.
I don't think that's the case. We monitored the fight and we didn't notice anything. I doubt it can have that wide a range of effect to reach here.
Maybe it was the swarms. Bees collect pollen, maybe leyline bees collect leyline energies.
Magic bees? That's a new one.
You may not be that far off, Scarlett. When we drained Hera of all that energy and sent it back to the ley line, we may have overloaded the Earth. Then the energy is leaking out and it's starting to affect the world.
Are you saying we created the monster?
Indirectly, yes.
Regardless, this BeeQuake needs to be stopped, no matter the risk.
Why are we being so chalant about this power draining stuff?
Excuse me?
Did you say chalant?
Yeah.
Is that even a word?
What does nonchalant mean?
When a person feels or appears casually calm and relaxed.
So if non means not, what do you think chalant means?
Intense and focused.
Exactly.
I want to argue with your logic, but I really can't.
If there's one creature capable of draining our energy, what's to say there aren't more? If the leyline cup runneth over and these things start springing up all over the place, we could be in serious trouble.
No one is denying that, Scarlett. We just need to put out the biggest fire first. BeeQuake is a threat to the citizens of Dragon Cove.
Are we talking about killing this thing or trying to capture it? I feel like we've been doing a lot of punch-first plans.
Is it really a good idea to try to bring the thing that is leeching our powers into our base?
That doesn't mean we should kill it.
Isn't this sort of like a rabid dog situation? We've all seen Old Yeller. Sometimes you have to make the tough call.
I'm not saying we make it the team pet, but we should at least explore not killing everything we see.
I'm going to have to side with Ha-Nuel on this one. I did not sign up to be a murder hobo. I'll touch base with Erald and see if there is anything we can brainstorm.
Until BeeQuake manifests again, I'll monitor for any seismic events. You all go home and get some rest.
Benny, Gwen, Scarlett, and Ha-Nuel exit through separate portals, leaving Jay, Pan, and Gaia alone on the enduring Enterprise. Jay awkwardly scratches their head and stares at their alien friend.
Jay, I know our interactions have been limited over these few months that I've regained my actual body, but even I can tell there's something you want to talk about.
You know how I've been studying your conduit and trying to find a way to connect it to our ley line so you wouldn't have to rely on the Praetorian Guard source?
Yes, every time I utilize my powers, there's a chance they may be able to hone in on my location. Connecting to your ley lines would eliminate their ability to find me.
So far I haven't been able to find a way to sync your conduit up with our power source, but we have been analysing it. Gaia has done exhaustive examination on how your powers are currently working.
Well, that just sounds ominous.
It's truly a good news and bad news situation. Good news is that the Praetorian Guard shouldn't be able to notice your latest use of powers.
The bad news?
Your conduit still isn't regenerated enough to connect to the source properly, so it had to pull from a different energy source.
And that was...
It's somehow pulling the necessary energy from your life force. My working theory is that your sojourns to the surface during the earlier experiments with your Holden saturated your cells with source energy.
So I'm my own power source. That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
It doesn't until you run out of charge.
And there's the catch. So how much power do I have left?
We're not sure. We're currently analysing your blood samples from before the fight and after to see if we can quantify it.
You shouldn't access your powers again until we have a way of connecting you to a permanent source. I just got you back, and I don't want to lose you again.
I have always done what I truly believed was the right thing, regardless of its cost. At first, they called me a hero for it. I was idolized, practically worshipped. Then, I was known as a villain by those I swore to protect. My name was said with scorn and malice. My story will not end until I have set things right.
Then you have to be careful with how you use your conduit. Your next use could be your last.
Jay, you remind me of Jor. Before he corrupted our life's work, of course. Inquisitive and determined. If there's anyone I would trust to solve this problem, it is you. Until we do, let us keep this from the other Guardians. They already know that my access is limited. No need to worry them with these new monsters sprouting up.
I'm really not comfortable lying to my friends.
I swear to you on everything I hold dear that I will only use my powers if it is of the most dire of circumstances.
You did save our bacon today. Fine. But if you pass out in the middle of a battle again, we are telling them the truth.
That is a deal.
The Dragon Cove Boardwalk is abuzz with activity the following day. Children run about enjoying the beautiful weather, while the constant rumors of more monsters attacking keeps parents on edge. Desdemona sits alone, passively working on the script for her next segment, while sipping on a beverage.
Yes, you, Taco Boy. I asked for 3/4 diet soda, 1/4 lemon lime light ice. This is 2/3 Diet Coke, 1/3 lemon lime, with medium ice. Can I please get what I paid for? Hey, Buzzcut, go pick me up a churro explosion from that truck down at the end.
I don't work here.
Did I ask for your resume? You're standing there literally doing nothing. Just go do your nothing, buy the churro truck. Thanks. You're a peach. Can someone find the truck that is buzzing and make it stop? I'm trying to write the news for you people.
A single bee lands on the table and confidently walks over to Desdemona's hand and attempts to crawl up it. The minor local celebrity brushes the bee off nonchalantly. In a moment, the single bee returns, followed by a few more. In just a few seconds, the far side of Desdemona's table is covered with bees standing at attention. Their collective buzzing breaks her fragile focus.
What in the... Oh my god!
Desdemona leaps from her seat, backing away in disgust. An unimaginable large swarm of bees emerges from the ground. The massive black cloud of buzzing insects circles and flows about the boardwalk before beginning to orbit around the startled Desdemona.
My queen! My queen! My queen!
The black swarm slows its rotation and begins to coalesce into a silhouette of the creature known as BeeQuake. The monster's hive-like body now sprouts small insectoid wings to accompany its thin, spiny limbs.
We have finally found you! Let us take you back to our kingdom where you can rule!
Back at the Guardians Command Center, Gaia and Pan watch as Desdemona scurries away.
Gaia, open a portal and tell the other Guardians I'm on my way.
I can't do that, Pan. You're in no condition to fight right now. We have no idea how long your powers will hold out.
Those kids need me to lead them into battle. It is my right as Guardian Prime.
This is a different time, and these are different Guardians. You have to trust them. Attention all Guardians. The monster has been spotted on the boardwalk. Portals have been charted. Be prepared to come in hot.
Back on the boardwalk, onlookers stare in amazement as Desdemona tries to back away from the pleading insectoid monstrosity.
No means no, you creepy crawly. Leave me alone.
Is that thing on its hands and knees?
Regardless, we have to take this thing down quickly and not give it a chance to absorb any more of our energy. Let's stick with range attacks.
Are we just gonna change in public? Have we given up the whole secret identity thing?
Look around. No one is looking at us. A giant bee is probably something the people of Dragon Cove don't see every day.
Guardians, engage!
Druidic Defender!
Nova Knight!
Storm Sentinel! Higher Paladin!
Hydro Hoplite!
The now armored teens, with elemental weapons in hand, approach the puzzling scene of the pleading monster with caution.
All right, big guy. The young lady said no, and where we live, that means no. Come with us and we can find you another queen.
No! She is the only one for us! She is the Queen Bee!
We know that she could definitely be a queen bit.
Paladin!
What? I was gonna say bee.
You want her for yourself. She is ours!
Two stingers grow out of the monster's hands before it rushes the quintet of heroes.
Remember the plan, no direct engagement.
Not to be nitpicky, but do we even know if it's a general proximity issue?
Look at it this way. We will be able to compare the data after this fight to the first one, and then compare it.
I'm glad you all figured out your science experiment, but we should really be trying to end this fight. Chain lightning!
Bolts of electricity leap from the Nova Knight's lightning lance and strike BeeQuake in the arm, severing it. The creature looks at its shoulder and missing appendage with mild concern.
It will take more than that to keep me from my queen.
A swarm of bees spills up from the ground and attaches itself to the wounded shoulder of the monster, forming a new limb.
Oh, that's just not fair.
If blasting it to pieces is not going to work, let's just freeze it in place. Snow globe!
A blast of water from Gwen's aqua sword completely covers the buzzing adversary. In seconds, the water freezes, leaving BeeQuake frozen in place.
See, that wasn't so hard.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but bees have been known to use their vibrations and body heat to kill their foes. That red glow is probably not a good thing.
Why are we even playing around with this thing? Let's break out the world anvil.
Paladin's right. We have to...
She is
Fueled by rage, the monster begins to grow to gargantuan size. Its rocky hive torso continues to evolve as the creature grows. A full set of wings emerge from its back, and the earthly hive body sheds, revealing a full bee thorax. The young heroes find themselves facing a 10-story tall bumblebee.
I didn't know it could do that. Did anyone know it could do that?
I would say that's basically impossible, but these last few months have shown me that the rules of physics don't apply in Dragon Cove anymore.
I think it's time for us to break out the big guns.
Agreed. It's Titan time!
I summon the rock that supports.
I summon the light and the darkness.
I summon the wings of change.
I summon the cry that ignites justice!
I summon the claws that rend life!
Emerging from their dimensional strongholds are the Phoenix, Turtle, Beetle, Dragon, and Alicorn Titans. With a quick tap to their conduits, the Guardians teleport to the respective mechs.
What's the plan, Coach? Are we sticking with the range attacks?
Let's spread out and attack this thing from all sides. I know it's shrugged up our individual attacks. What if we keep pouring it on? We might eventually take it down!
I don't think that is going to work, Hoplite.
Pan, trust me, this isn't our first rodeo.
I don't know what a rodeo is, but I've been in more battles than you can all possibly fathom.
Sorry, it's our city. We've saved it more than once. Flanking positions.
The 5 mechanized mythical creatures move into position around the kaiju. Each guardian begins to volley the massive creature with a blast of elemental energy.
Are we doing anything other than pissing this thing off?
It's not like they come with an energy bar.
Defender, you okay?
It's gonna take more than a couple of oversized stingers to damage my Titan. Let's see how he likes it when the seismic tables are turned.
The legs of the Turtle Titans begin to piston up and down, sending a seismic shockwave towards BeeQuake. The kaiju stumbles for a moment before leaping to the air and hovering with its oversized wings.
I probably should have seen that one coming.
You know, I'm not one to question you, fearless leader, but do you think Pan might be right? At best, we're just slowing this thing down.
Giving it one giant target to pull power from can't be the right idea.
If it is wanting your power, give it more than it can handle. Overload it.
Makes sense to me.
Oh, that sounds better than just flitting around it.
Fine, whatever.
We call upon Kronos, the Mega-Titan!
The rock that supports forms the legs. The wings of hope takes the place of the torso. The claws that rend life and the light and the darkness each form an arm, while the cry that ignites justice forms the head. With the alicorn horn sword and turtle shell shield secure on its back, the guardian piloted mech turns to face the insect kaiju. Back in the secluded caves, an impatient Haxatar paces back and forth while the drowned Duke, in a meditative state, floats cross-legged with their eyes closed.
Haxatar does not enjoy this waiting. Now that Haxatar has been healed, Haxatar needs to crush something.
You simpleton. We can't just go stampeding like a herd of Tyrannosaurus. We just need to wait for the right...
Duke? Drowned Duke?
The hovering wizard's feet slam into the ground. They turn and stare intently into the distance. Closing their eyes, they extend a hand. After a few intricate motions, a glowing crystal orb appears.
There is wild magic being used. I can feel it.
Opening a small pouch, the drowned Duke pulls out a single onyx egg. With a simple gesture, the egg hatches and releases a small frog humanoid wearing dark sunglasses and sporting bandanas tied to each bicep. The figure grows to its full size of 2 meters and kneels in front of its creator.
Go, my Frugga. Find evidence of this wild magic and return it to me.
We're gonna have to get up in its face if we want to avoid that honey attack!
Agreed. Close combat moves only. We can't afford to have our titans locked in place.
I've got a lightning punch. Locked and loaded.
Face full of fire coming up!
The enraged BeeQuake attempts to fly into the air to escape Cronus's onslaught, but it's quickly snagged by the mech's water dragon arm.
You're not going anywhere!
Guys, there's something happening. The flow from the source feels off. We need to let go. Now!
The freed monster flits away as a pulse of energy pours out of it. The energy strikes Cronus, and the Guardian's control panels spark and crackle uncontrollably.
What was that?
How did you know that was gonna do that? Sentinel?
I don't know. The source is usually a constant vibration, but BeeQuake's is nothing but violent therming.
That is definitely not a good thing. We barely know what leyline energy is, let alone what will happen if these pulses keep growing. It could infect more things, and we could have a kaiju stampede on our hands.
I know you didn't want to just take it out, but I don't think we have another choice.
Hoplite is right. This thing is too big a threat, and it's our job to end it.
The Guardians put their ringed fists to their control panels and rotate them 90 degrees clockwise. Their panels glow vividly with their respective colors.
Thundersword Elemental Strike!
Unsheathing the alicorn horn sword from its back, Cronus swings the glowing blade at the energized flying kaiju. The radiating elemental wave passes through the giant insect before it explodes.
Thunder Sword for the win!
Oh, we need to get down there. Sensors are showing something.
Something good? Or something bad?
That remains to be seen.
As the Titans return to their ethereal planes, the Guardians teleport to the now quiet battlefield.
You'd think there'd be more goo or insect parts.
That's odd. They were cleaning up magma squid for the better part of a month.
The Green Guardian taps the side of their helmet and begins to scan the area.
There! The energy fluctuations are emanating from over there.
Okay, I did not expect to see that.
Is that beehive what is left of BeeQuake?
I think that is BeeQuake. Or at least what it was before the leyline energy changed it.
How are you all fixating on a beehive when there is a glowing crystal? Defender, what is it?
It's registering similarly to our conduits, but there is something irregular about the signature. Gaia, I'm sending back data. See what you and Pan make of it.
Are we taking it or destroying it?
Why would we destroy it?
Is taking unknown energy balls back to our base a good idea?
We can't just leave it here. If it can change a beehive into a monster, imagine if it changes a person.
Defender? Sentinel? Can we make something to contain it?
Without knowing what we're dealing with, We might as well put it in a lunchbox.
Oh, maybe I can cover it with an earth shield, and then Paladin can melt the rock into a solid cage.
As the Guardians turn to debate what to do with the magical crystal, the Frugger creeps closer.
What about the planes?
You want to put it on a plane?
Not a plane. The planes. My beetle exists in an endless void.
That may not be a bad idea. The Alicorn plane was empty space, too.
Didn't Defender just say energy was unknown? Doesn't seem like a smart idea to throw it in the source.
At least it's not as dumb as your destroy it plan.
As the teen heroes' debate reaches an intense pitch, the humanoid frog shoots out its massive tongue. The sticky extension wraps around the crystal and then retracts back into the amphibian's mouth. With the crystal secured, the minion leaps away.
No one said your idea was dumb, but we need to go with the safest option.
Fine. I just think that sending it to the Titan's plane is the Where did it go?
Does anyone see it?
I didn't know it could move.
It's a ball of magic, Paladin. It can do anything.
Defender, I'm not registering any on my scans. Could it have dissipated?
Theoretically, but I mean, maybe growing BeeQuake caused it to expel enough energy to let it rejoin the ley line.
Let's head back. Sentinel and Defender, get with Gaia and see if you design something that can secure the next one.
Yeah, I'll patch in Erald as well. He has way more experience with the supernatural than anyone we know.
The duo of Ha-Nuel and Jay study multiple screens as Gaia's tests reveal more about the crystal that was left after the BeeQuake battle. One monitor shows the face of Erald as the dinosaur scientist offers his input remotely.
Disturbances in the tetracyanate structure suggest that the ley line energy's altered state is behind the growth of the creature.
So our injection of Hera's kaiju energy is not mixing with Earth's natural magic? And it's expelling a supercharged version that still retains the growth element, albeit it's not increased in potency and decreased in stability?
That's a perfect extrapolation, Sentinel. Jay truly did not undersell your intellect.
Aw, Jay, you've told Erald I'm smart?
I may or may not have regaled him with stories of team science. Now, what do we think of using the paraphoretic porality inducers and self-sealing transporter modules to contain the next crystal?
That could be an efficient containment if the energy doesn't alter with each iteration.
Gaia's holographic form pops into existence and excitedly gestures to Jay.
Defender, you might want to check these results.
Oh, fascinating! The crystal's structure is almost identical to the fuel of the Dermaterrelian transwarp discriminator that powers the Enduring Enterprise.
Does that mean we might be able to power the ship? Pan can actually go look for CL Johnny.
They will be ecstatic. I will interrupt the training session he's been running for the others and let them know immediately.
Have either of you considered what Pan's departure might mean for your quintet?
We were fighting monsters before we found this place, and we'll keep fighting if Pan leaves.
That's not what I meant. The craft will require a crew, and from the schematics I've seen, it appears to have space for 6.
As absolutely amazing that would be, they are not going to ask us to go to space.
I suggest you Guardians prepare to make some very difficult decisions.
The solitary Frugger determinedly leaps back towards the cave where Haxatar and the drowned Duke are sequestered. As the amphibian approaches the pair, it regurgitates the crystal it pilfered.
What makes this glowing rock so special?
That is exactly what I am trying to ascertain.
A flurry of hand motions by the Duke creates a cadre of floating, liquid, geometric shapes. The wizard observes the shapes as they slowly circle the crystal. With a snap of their fingers, all but one disappears.
Now this is truly exciting.
A dark, pulsating sphere now rests between the two subterranean beings.
My lord,
Haxatar begs your forgiveness to Tirich Mir, and Haxatar will spend his life.
Why have you bothered me, Duke? My energy cannot be wasted on a menial conversation.
I would never deign such a thing. My supposition was correct. That fool Erald stumbled upon the exact element we need to make your next metamorphosis your most powerful.
Essence. The surface world will soon awaken in fear as they face the might of the Dark Empire.
Tubular Teens with Titans is written and produced by Velvet Fiend Rabbit Productions. Our theme song, Thunder Sword, is written and produced by Ahmad Judah and Joe Chasm, with lyrics and vocals by Keisha Wallace. If you liked what you just heard, please head over to the podcast service of your choice and leave us a rating and a review. It truly helps more people find the show. Tubular Teens with Titans features the vocal talents of...
I'm Briar Zachary, and I play the Druidic Defender, J. Terra.
My name is Chris Van, and I play the Pyre Paladin, Benny Humo.
I'm Tim Loika, and I play Storm Sentinel, Ha-Nuel Yasao.
I'm Keisha Wallace, and I play the Hydro Hoplite, Gwen Avalon.
Sup, I'm Allegra Rodriguez Shivers, and I play the Nova Knight, also known as Scarlett Watts.
I'm Shayne Cochran, and I voice Erald.
I'm JJ Jensen, and I play Hera.
I'm Michael Waldschlager II, and I play Pan Vahan, Guardian Prime.
I'm Noah, and I play Johnny Dakota.
Kyle Gould as Reginald Thaddeus III.
I'm Jerry Kokich, and I play the Drowned Duke.
I'm PJ Argento, and I voice
Tirich Mir.
I'm Shane Patrick, and I play the Narrator.